Hi.
We're trying to work out how to start the video. How's it going, folks? Rob and Bianca here. Just doing a bit of an update on what we've been up to.
I'm getting ready to drive down to Brisbane for the week for work, so we thought we'd show you what we did this weekend.
Yep.
So we started with the tractor.
She now has a big, nice weight on the front.
Did it help?
No, so we're still getting it skidding around corners as we turn, and I am turning in very low speeds, and also using, just to let people know, this does have the individual brakes for both the rear tyres, so you put that down and both wheels brake at once, lift it up, they brake individually, pressing the inside one to stop that tyre so I can turn better.
The wheels aren't exactly aligned.
No, they're not.
So whether there's misalignment or a bend or something, so we really need to get the books so we can start playing mechanic.
Ron, we haven't got the books yet, mate. There's a local place that sells them. I just haven't been into Bundaberg when they've been open to pick them up.
Need to do that. I think the slasher's too big.
Yeah, the slasher is too big. We had a, it's about a 4.5 foot, almost 5 foot slasher on the back. Needs a bit of a clean off. I've also got some gear oil to top up the gearbox there.
So if there's anyone local that wants to do a swap.
Yeah, we're thinking about something smaller. We'd actually like a flail mower. They sit closer to the back. So maybe around about the same amount of weight, but it just the physics of it would mean there'd be more weight towards the front to give us more traction. A few people have suggested adding water. When you add water to the tyres, it's about 3/4, anywhere up to about 75% of volume. That weight on the front is more than that, and it still didn't do what it was supposed to do.
Well, we also saw that report saying the water in the tiles is not good for newer model, like the really old ones. That's okay.
Yeah, so we'd have to look into that, but at the time being, we're not going to worry about it. When you consider these can have a bucket out the front that weigh a hell of a lot more than the amount of water in the tyres. Yeah, so that's where we're up to with the tractor. So it's just a bit more of a wait and see game with that. I really don't trust it driving down the hills and over the little ridges and valleys in the paddocks and not being able to steer correctly, so safety first. In this case, anyway, safety first. And then normally safety third, isn't it?
You have your other toy up and running.
Yes, Craig. We got the, this is a mate of ours who's a chippy. Thank you very much, mate. He sold us this for a song. All it needed was a new regulator up here. Hooked that up yesterday, got it firing up, and yeah, not a problem. I do have some air tools from my father and some more to pick up, but they got the old school fittings, so I've had to buy some more of these. The newer school ones, they just screw in and out. You've got male fittings, you've got female fittings. They're just a different end assembly. So next time I go down, I'll be grabbing a few more of them. He's got grinders, drills, all sorts of bits and pieces.
He's got spray paint stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a load of spray stuff, so we'll be able to get Bianca set up to do her painting on the furniture. The other thing, we fixed up the other little tractor with a trailer. Well,
the back tray's a patch job, but we're not looking at that, but we needed to use it straight away to
collect
pumpkins. 2
or 3 pumpkins.
Place your bets on the number of pumpkins we picked. And we'll see if you're right at the end.
Put it in the comment down here. But anyway, this is all set up now. We just needed to get some new pneumatic wheels for it. The back tray, it's just slips into some grooves there, and on the base, it's a very rusted old trailer. I picked it up from my dad's place, and he's popped the wrong bolts in there. These are sitting proud. So it was just something he was doing up. I don't know. It was a bit hard to know what Dad was thinking over the last couple of years, but
it came in handy.
Yes,
and
yes,
we did loads.
We did loads. Grab your coffee. Oh, yes. Looking at the top of the tractor, there's a few plumbing bits there.
There's a hint.
Yes. We'll bring this one along for show and tell. So we do have a bit of rubbish that we need to pick up around the place. We've starting to get into summer here, or supposedly spring, but we've had 31 and 30-degree days. So that warm weather means active reptiles. Active reptiles means no propes. Hey, Jack. No propes. We don't play with them. Jack got bitten by a red belly, for you folks who don't know. So yeah, I need to tidy up this rubbish, separate the metal from the normal rubbish. And part of that...
Because you could also put in and show video of Stumpy has reappeared.
Stumpy, oh yeah, we've got Stumpy the monitor lizard, goanna,
Yes.
has turned back up and decided to dig some holes in our yard.
Yes.
So we're not too sure if it's a burrow for nesting or trying to dig out rats
there's some really good food there or something.
Yeah. But besides getting rid of that rubbish, I've been tidying up around the rainwater tanks. There's a lot of stuff the old owner left up there. There's some smashed, oh, there's a blackie chook or a chickie chook.
Chickie.
Need to get those dumped. You've got to pay for the local council, so we're going to work out
They've actually got to be driven into Bundaberg. They're the only council that'll accept them.
Yeah, so we want to tidy up around there so we can see where we're walking and make sure there's no nope ropes. Also clearing off the top of this concrete. All this stuff here came from around there, and whipper snipped out the back. And as I came over here the other day, I tripped on this. This is a compression fitting. Well, not this one, it was an older one. It's a compression fitting. Inside is this little sleeve inside this fitting, and it's supposed to jam up against there, or more like that way. And when I've kicked it, I've damaged something, and it started leaking quite profusely and came out, and there was water all over here in the morning. So we had to fix that, but in taking the old fittings off, I damaged the seal onto the rainwater tank, which is filled with probably, what, 20,000 litres of water?
Oh, it's above that.
Above where Shorty can reach.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's not something we can just take this out, rewrap it and stick it back in with no problems. As you can see, there's water there, and we have a slow leak just there. So we haven't lost much. We've probably lost round about, or we used all up and lost probably about 1.5 centimetres over the last 3 days of that leaking. So we're not overly concerned, but it has meant that we need to get the hurry on with the new rainwater tanks.
These tanks are really old. We definitely need new tanks. And it's stupid to put it here and have our lovely massive aqueduct going on. So we've sort of put some pegs out to have a look at where 2 5-metre pads could be.
Or one 10 by 5 metre.
10 by 5.
Yeah.
We'd have to move the clothesline, which is fine. But that's probably the best place, because then we can have the entire house going into those 2 tanks.
From that corner there, we can pretty much all run it down, as well as that corner there, which just runs to waste down into that gutter. So the big shed over here also feeds into the 2 tanks. There's a line from the gutter on the other side that runs into there. Yeah,
the lean-to just runs onto the ground.
Yeah.
So then we've got the water flow that comes off this shed. So we're thinking these 2 small tanks at the end.
The 2 5,000 litre jobbies.
We could move them up onto this pad.
And then have some room beside it for storage, like things, metal and stuff like that we don't want laying around in the grass.
And the overflow from that can go into those 2 tanks.
Yep. Plus
this
the shed
can go into those 2 tanks. And then we just hook it back up to the pump over there, and then it's still connected to all the feed yards.
So that pump is sitting over there, and at the back of the shed there is a little, we could run the line along the back concrete of that shed and then into those tanks, so we don't have to dig any more holes. We can make it all nice and schmicko and safe. Yep. So that's the water tank situation. We'll actually do a proper video when we work it all out, what we're doing, and show the forming of the concrete pad and the plumbing and all that. But this stuff here was all bits and pieces. It was down along the side here, and when I pulled it out, there's a giant, great big black rat sitting behind one of the panels there. So that leads us on to another problem we're having at the moment.
Well, the other job we did on Sunday.
Yes. So on to the feed shed. By the way, that's our water bucket for the chickens just hanging up there. This is where we've been feeding the guinea fowl. We're not feeding them here anymore. There's some water in here for them as well. It's because we've ended up, you might be able to see the black spots on the ground there, and the black spots over there. We've ended up with a fair amount of rodent activity in here. Mind you, that hasn't all occurred suddenly. That's been building up over the last couple of months. We made a couple of traps yesterday, this little rolling one. Mice may have been getting in there and jumping out. I probably should have done a better job, put a little bit of water down the bottom to stop them from jumping out. But they're definitely down in here in the base of these rolls. We can see when we flash a light down there, we can see bits of rat poop. So we've stuck a humane trap down the back there to try and catch some mice. For the bigger critters, we made up one of these flip ones. It takes about 70 grams for it to tip down. So hopefully to get a large rat. That's the other style of trap we're using. And what made us decide that we needed to get motivated was they started to rip through the potting mixes there. And I think we may have caught our culprit last night. We have a normal, common feral rat in there that I will be dispatching once we finish doing this video. We saw that just before as we grabbed the camera and came out and let the chookies out. So we've got one rat, but we're going to set the cage up again, or the little trap up again, and see if we can catch it. That looks smaller than the one that I saw yesterday, or the other day.
Guinea fowls are just notoriously messy.
So yeah, we're going to have to sweep up the floor in here, and we're actually going to take all the feed out of here, aren't we? Yeah. We're basically, as you can hear, that's rusted out down the bottom there. We're going to want to move the other shed over and connect it to the end here. We've got some electrical work that needs to come out first though, so we need to save up some coin, get the sparky out to remove that, and the wiring for that exhaust fan, and then we'll look at moving that other shed over. But for the time being, just clear everything out, hey?
Yeah, just leave the traps in there, one source of food. Actually, we put a mouse humane trap in with the chicken pen as well, because Rob was seeing the mice run through the chicken pen.
I actually had a conversation with one night. He just stood there staring at me in shock as I was locking up the chickens.
That's right.
So, but there was no mice in there when I checked it this morning, so.
Oh, good. Okay.
But you better get ready to leave. It's almost...
I think it's pumpkin time.
Pumpkin time. Show people how many pumpkins we got.
Yep.
Well, to begin with, you may be aware of our saga of the pig pen pumpkins. Yes. We've harvested quite a few from a single plant over there in the pig pen. It grew to be an absolute monster. We've harvested over 150 before a couple of weekends ago.
Yep. This last harvest is the end. There will be no more. I don't care if it grows in there. It's going to get hit with a whippersnipper, and it's going to be cut down, because I'm sure that's where a lot of the mice and rats are living as well.
One of my jobs before Bianca gets back is to start taking down the fence over there and try and clean that up a bit. And
There's
just knock it right down.
Houses and all sorts of stuff in there.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff.
So, did you guess how many pumpkins
we brought over on our little zoomy tractor trailer?
I bet you wouldn't have thought 143.
Yes. 143 or 33?
143.
143.
So this was, look, Chook. Oh no, Marianne
was pecking at it.
Was pecking at it. She's been digging holes in them.
You know why? If that stem came off that easy, obviously that pumpkin's a bit
she's too far gone.
So Chook, there's a chicken testing system for viable pumpkins.
Yeah, she's done that one as well.
That one as well. So yeah, we are getting a few that were compromised before we picked them. So these ones here will just go out to the paddock. There's
a couple that have already gone a bit funny and split, so we'll get rid of them. This was from the hoop house, so we still haven't unpacked that, but...
Yeah, those ones we're going to keep.
That's left over from the last harvest. Oh, there's a couple that are turning as well. I'm about to load up the car with probably about 30, 40 pumpkins. I phoned a local charity in Bundaberg who looks after a whole bunch of stuff. They do school dinners, they do... they had a food store for people who were finding it tough, where they could, get free food, free bread. They team up with farmers in the area and everything. So I contacted them and said, there's only so many scones I can eat. Would you like 50 or 60 pumpkins?
The freezer's about a shelf full of pumpkin frozen in different forms.
Yes. And
plus we can store, like a lot of these larger ones here, we're going to keep for ourselves.
Yeah. So we'll move the ones we're going to keep inside in the dark, so they last a bit longer now that they're sun hardened. We'll go through these again. Yeah. They're coming out Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll do that.
They'll pick
this afternoon.
They'll pick up the rest of the pumpkins, and no more pumpkin.
No more pumpkin. Until next season.
Until next season.
Because I'm sure they're going to grow from the ones that are rotten in the paddock.
Or the ones that I just randomly lob through the fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the person who guessed how many pumpkins...
You get a pumpkin.
You get a pumpkin.
Just hit us up. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. So doing something tricky with the camera today. Bianca's standing behind me, so we both fit.
Well, I could cut you off at the shins.
You could.
And then
you
we'd
could.
both fit.
It's been threatened before. But anyway, that's a bit of an update for this week. A bit of a look at what's been going on. And Bianca's abandoning me for a week. I don't know what I'm going to get up to.
You suck.
Oh, might have to go for a walk up the back.
No.
No. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Do let us know below if there's anything that interests you about the farm that you'd like to learn more about. Yeah, and we'll try and address it in the next video. Oh, and also too, we are looking at doing the live streams once a month towards maybe the second or the third weekend of every month. We'll do a live stream instead of a video.
Yeah,
yeah.
No, they're good. Lots of people come. It's good for a chat.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying catching up with people who've been following us for years when we first started with the wicking beds, then the aquaponics, and now on the farm. So, you know, it's awesome keeping in touch with all you folks. And we pretty much will leave it there.
I'm going to hit the road.
Yep. Hope you all have an absolutely fantastic week, and hopefully
catch you next time.
Catch you next time. Couple of shorts coming through the week. Cheers all.
Cool. Bye.